Good morning, people. Welcome back to the show. It's the Gooner Tokes, as usual, with me, Tokes. It's Tuesday. Champions League is back later on. Can't wait for that massive game, Inter Milan versus Arsenal. But first of all, today, going to start with a bit of transfer news because Fabrizio Romano has reported via David Ornstein that a player might be on the move this January on a loan. Going to get away to get some game time, it seems. Going to get into that. But before I do, you know what to do, people. Like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. Join me on the road to 500 subs. And the player that they're talking about leaving Arsenal is Ethan Nwaneri. He has not had a lot of game time recently. Obviously, he burst onto the stage a few years ago, got his debut at 15. There was a lot of chat about people, saying, oh, Arteta just did it, for some ego trip or whatever. But Ethan Nwaneri was promising when he came onto the scene. He was really good. He's great at attacking. He can carry the ball. He's got a shot on him. He can hold off defenders and stuff like that. So we thought he was going to be more and more integrated into the first team, but that just hasn't happened for a number of reasons. Obviously, we brought in a lot of players, big players, first team players, older players. Eze, if Eze can't get game time, how do you expect Ethan Nwaneri to get game time? And he really needs it for his development. So the news coming out is that Arsenal and Marseille are in talks for a loan deal for Ethan Nwaneri this January. And that could be a really good move for him. Marseille are third in the French league. So they're a good side. They're competing at the top. They're fighting to get into Europe. And them looking at Ethan Nwaneri, I think, says a lot about the player and his skills and his ability and his potential. And what a player like him really needs to be doing is playing. It's one thing, practicing with the guys and being around the first team and being with them in training. But if you're not playing competitive matches at a high level, there's only so much you can improve. So for me, I think it's a really good decision that they're thinking about sending Ethan Nwaneri on loan. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm interested to hear. But we need to do this, I think, for the betterment of Ethan Nwaneri and the betterment of the team. We've got him on a long contract. We want him to be part of the club in the future. He's one of the Hale End boys. He's come through the academy system, so he's already got a lot of love from the fans. He'll definitely get a lot of patience from the fans because homemade players tend to get a little bit more time to impress. They've got a little bit more backing from the supporters. So, Ethan Nwaneri going away to learn his trade isn't the worst thing to happen. Emile Smith-Rowe did it. Okay, he's not at the club anymore, but you really need to go and get some game time. Don't forget, Saliba was playing in the French league. We signed him and left him on loan so that, he would be playing those high-intensity games, those high-level games, and getting experience of playing week in, week out, challenging for something where it really matters, and there's a lot of expectation on you to perform. So I think Ethan Nwaneri is now at a stage of his career where it's super important that he does that. He's not going forever. It's just a loan. He will be back at the club. But he hasn't played much this season, and I just don't see where he's going to fit in between now and the end of the campaign if he hasn't really played so much. Like I said, we're struggling to give game time to some of our more senior players in midfield. Marino doesn't get a lot of game time. Eze doesn't get a lot of game time. Noga doesn't get a lot of game time. Okay, they're all kind of slightly different roles, but Marino and Eze certainly, that's who Nwaneri is competing against. And, goes without saying that Ødegaard is there. So I think it's a really good idea that he goes away, get some experience, be part of that pressure environment of playing week in, week out. It's going to do wonders for his game. And playing for a team like Marseille, who are challenging at the top of Ligue 1, I think is going to be a great thing for him. It's a really, really good move. Yes, we would love to have him stay here at the club for the season, maybe, in case of incasity, as we say. But we can't just leave him sat on the bench, or sometimes not even in the squad, just in case. The guy needs to play. He needs to get game time. He needs experience. So for me, I think it's a really good potential move for Nwaneri. We don't really need to bring any players in. What we need to do is get our players that are there really firing in those forward parts of the pitch. And okay, maybe Nwaneri could be a solution for that, but you know, he's still young, he's still developing, and he just doesn't have the trust yet with Mikel Arteta to be, you know, playing week in, week out, and that's fair enough. I think we all maybe thought he would be at a higher level by now, but that's okay. He's young, he's learning, and they go through these ups and downs of the process. So for me, good move. You know, let's see what happens finally. Is he going to go away on loan? But like I said, he's got to get some game time, get integrated into a first team squad, because he is one of those guys that's going to be crucial in the future. We are future proofing the squad so that Nwaneri goes away, gets some game time, develops, and then he's ready to come back and be more of a first 11 player. You know, I think that's what we all want for him. So let me know what you think about this potential move for Ethan Nwaneri. There's a game later, obviously going to be talking about that, doing my match reaction. I've already done my match preview, so go check that out on my channel and see what I thought about the game. And let me know what your thoughts are of what the score's going to be and, you know, starting 11s and all of that. Check it out, people. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Take it easy, people. Peace. Bye.